Life is being lived through you. Life is being lived through your lens, through your perspective. So I feel if you really want to be at peace with the world and be at peace with everything and have a peaceful mindset, you have to let everything be as it is. You have to detach yourself fully from, I'm not trying to say fully from the world, but in a sense, you have to detach yourself from the outside world and simply just let yourself be as you are. I feel like that's one of the best forms of self-love, is detaching from, it's kind of deep, detaching from the identity that we want others to see ourselves as. I hope that really makes sense, but and that's one of a big thing is who is our identity to ourselves, and who do we show up as when we get around other people, and that's one of our biggest attachments. I say ours because we kind of live a similar life. We all go through the same things in different font, shape, form. You feel what I'm saying? But I feel like it's up to us to really, it's up to our perspective to really live the life that we want to live, that peaceful life. We have to detach from things that no longer give us that joy. If something doesn't give you that joy, why do you continue to persist in doing that thing? And your life will consist of doing things that you don't like doing. But I feel like it all comes down to detaching. And detaching is honestly beautiful. I'm actually just sitting outside here, and I don't know, I'm not worried about anything. Because that's all life is sometimes. The days you don't have the days you don't have work, or even if you have school, when your schoolwork is done, when you're done doing your homework, this is what it's about. There's sometimes where you have to rest. There's sometimes where you have to detach from all your problems, detach from everything. Because like you've always done, the problems will go away. Or I should say, you have gotten better every single time. The problem will pass. Things will pass. The world keeps spinning. The sun rises every single day, showing up, and that's showing us that we can just wake up and do something different with ourselves. But you have to stop relying on everything outside of you to be perfect. Stop relying on the sun to shine for it to be a good day. Life is living through you. You can make any day a good day. You can make any day a very successful day, a very motivational day, inspirational day. That's up to you. I feel like it's a beautiful process when you realize that life is living through you. And there's a bunch of times where I've been finding myself trying to please others, or even judging people in a sense. But I'm realizing that the more that I judge people, that's a reflection on what's going on inside of me. Because why am I putting negative energy towards something that I can't control? Or why am I putting negative energy towards something that somebody else is doing? But I need to take a look at myself and ask, what am I doing in that situation to make it better? What am I doing to, better myself in this situation? And these are just the things that I think of, and, who am I to judge? Everything in life doesn't deserve a reaction, though. Everything doesn't really deserve a negative reaction to it. We don't need to respond to how people look at us. We don't need to respond to to what people say. There was this one girl I work with. She was like, um, you need a retwist. And she started telling her friends, and she was just like, oh my God, look at his hair. He needs a retwist. You know, and did it start to get under my skin? Yes. Because clearly it did, because it didn't get under my skin, but I knew that I needed to talk about it. Because, like, why are you trying to bring somebody else down? You know, that shows a reflection of your own, of what's going on inside of you. Like, and they didn't even get it, she didn't even get a reaction out of them. I don't know, it's like, why? Did I do anything to judge you? No. You know, so there's always going to be people who are going to try to bring you down. There's always going to be negativity in the world. We were born in a world of sin. And I saw a TikTok yesterday. It was like the dude was explaining how since the first man sinned, the baby is born with negative emotions like hatred and anger and jealousy, stuff like that. And really saddened me, because it's true. You know, some of these things that we do are of nature. It's of nature to judge. It's of nature to get jealous. It's of nature to, you know, all the things that we just talked about. But you can unlearn some of these negative traits that you have. You don't have to necessarily react to everything. There's going to always be somebody who cuts you off in traffic. There's always going to be somebody who tries to get under your skin. But it's about what you do in those moments that they do. Don't give a reaction to everything. Don't react to everything. And these things are even going to sit with your mind. You know what I'm saying? These things are going to sit in your mind. Because, I mean, we grew some sort of attachment to a lot of these different things. You know, we grew some sort of attachment to the way that other people view us, you know? If somebody, I don't know. I feel like if I want to live a peaceful life, then I have to do the things that consist of what brings me peace. I can't necessarily worry about what other people think about what brings me peace, because I don't know. It's like, does that thing truly give you that fulfillment that you need? You shouldn't rely on other people's opinions and external sources to really give you that validation. You love yourself enough. You should love yourself enough to do the things that truly give you peace and to give you that prosperity, to give you true joy, so that you can actually be at peace, because peace is a mindset. Peace is nothing but learning to detach from everything. And in order to do that, you have to do less, actually. It's not about the more things that I do, maybe I'll be able to detach. No, you have to sit there and be still. You have to be with your thoughts. You have to sit there and be still with those uncomfortable thoughts first, so then you then can be at peace. Some of us wake up and start thinking about the negative things in our life. We wake up and think about how am I going to get more money? I want you to try to wake up and start your day off with some gratitude. The first thing you think about, make it towards God, or pray, or do some sort of mindfulness, like a meditation, and really be there for yourself. Show up for yourself, because that's important too. Your self-love is important too, and your needs need to be fulfilled by you. And you are the one who gives yourself a peaceful life. You are the one. You know what I'm saying? There may be times there's going to be days where you have not as much money in your bank account, where you can't go out and eat all the food that you want. There's going to be days where you do, though. Plenty more days you do than you don't. But it's about what you do in those days, man. You know, it's about what you do when negativity comes your way. Your reaction to these things is really what matters. You know, try to focus more of your energy on on things that will actually bring you joy and not bring you more negativity. Judging, complaining, those are some of the biggest, the two most pet peeves that I have, because they're so contagious, I feel. You know, when somebody swears and they get in these moods, it's contagious. It makes you want to act up on your own behalf. But I've been finding myself controlling my reactions more, controlling what I do, controlling what I say, being very conscious about the things that I consume. Music, all these things have an effect on your mood and on your vibe. So be very careful about what you consume, be very careful about what you partake in, the people that you hang around, because everything can alter your peace. But at the same time, nothing can alter your peace if you are in control of your mind. So, yeah. I don't know, I just felt like I had to make this video because a lot of us would love to be at peace. So hopefully this video helped you stay at peace. If you guys want to talk to me one-on-one, amen, click the link in the bio or in the description. I love each and every one of y'all. I'd also love y'all to be in the Discord community. It's free. It's a community everybody love to be in there. It's in the description. I love each and every one of y'all. Y'all stay tuned for the next one.